ABC, this is Kevin here. I have episode number 2 of Blast from the Past. 6 albums I picked from the early days where I started listening to music. And a lot of these are some of the early stuff that I did listen to, especially a lot of these bands. But I'll progress into the 80s as well, because a lot of those will be blasts from the past as well. 90s maybe, I don't know. But this is episode number 2. So let's get on to it. This one here, I actually first heard of this guy's music back in about 78, 79. I was living in Duluth, Minnesota at the time. I was in the Coast Guard, and there was a Wisconsin radio station right across from Duluth that played college radio stuff, and this is one of the artists that really grabbed me. It's by far my favorite album by this guy. Too bad his life was cut short due to drinking. The guy would have been, well, he's a legend in my book, but he should have been bigger than what he was. So anyway, he died alone and drunk. And so anyway, I'm talking about Roy Buchanan here and Loading Zone. What really drew me to this album here was the song Green Onions, which was might be on this backside here. It is not, but Green Onions is it's been done by countless artists, especially blues artists, and I mean, the ferocity of his guitar playing of that blues song, which he made it his own, just kind of drew me into this. This is a fantastic release, a Loading Zone. This came out, let's see, I want to say 75? 77 this came out. So yeah, I was right about that time when I first got turned on to Roy Buchanan. He's got quite a few albums out, probably 8 I would say, but this is one of the early ones for me in the late 70s. This one was an absolute masterpiece back in them early days, especially for people I hung around with that more or less loved this style of music. Borderline metal at times, especially the track on this, which I will mention. But this band was found by Gene Simmons, and I tried to help him out. These guys should have been bigger, but they were not. Talking about Angel and the self-titled album here. Just a monster debut release, especially the track, The Tower. I mean, if you know one song on this album, it's The Tower. So, but the whole album is good. Rock and rollers, long time, but fantastic debut album from Angel. This came out, I think it was 75, yeah. 75 on Casablanca Records. So another blast from the past for me. Angel, self-titled album. This is a band that probably a lot of people don't really know, especially back in the day. That, you know, they were on Swan Song labels. There were a few bands on that label, of course, Led Zeppelin, Bad Company, Prism. There were a couple other bands, and this band was also on there. I came across these guys also back in about 77, 78. I hadn't heard any of their music about it just because of this cover. They only have 2 releases, and they have a live release out. But this band is Detective, and their self-titled album. I believe this was from 76, if I'm not mistaken. 77, actually. But the self-titled Detective album. And if little FYI, the lead singer on here which is Michael DeBars, went on to play Murdoch in the first episode's version of MacGyver. And here he is right here, this guy right here. And but just some kind of it's bluesy at times, it's heavier hard rock at times, just some great vocals. This is a 5-piece, and again, this is a band that probably should have been bigger, but some of the standout tracks here are Recognition, of course. That's probably their most recognizable song of this album. Grim Reaper, another good track. Detective Man, Ain't None of Your Business. But just a fantastic release from 1977 from Detective. Now I think we're getting into the 80s here, this one. Early 80s, and I remember watching MTV, and I happened to catch a video of these guys. I believe these guys had the video. It's a band out of Canada. Probably my favorite album from these guys. I'm talking about Coney Hatch and Out of Hand. Monster album, especially the track Shake It. Just some great Canadian hard rock. This came out in 1983 on Polygram Records. But my favorite Coney Hatch from the 80s. So if you don't have this, pick it up. I know a lot of people do have this for hard rock. You know, it's just a great album. Check it out. This real early stuff. Band out of Chicago. They just released a new album earlier this year. I saw them about 2 years ago. It was last year at the Red River Valley Fair. This is, I do believe, their first release from Styx. This is on the Wooden Nickel label. Very progressive rock here. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know the early first 2 albums of Styx, except for the diehards out there. But what drew me into this was side 1, Movement for the Common Man. You know, it has Children of the Land, a street collage, Fanfare for the Common Man, Mother Nature's Matinee, as far as parts of the song there. Of course, back in them early days, it was John Kurolewski on guitars, Dennis DeYoung on organ, Chuck Panzano on bass, Joe Panzano on drums, and James Young on guitar. So the first Styx band here. Kind of the psychedelic cover. Of course, like I say, it's on the Wooden Nickel label. See here. I'm not sure if these ever been reissued ever. I just happen to have both of these on the wooden, the first and second one on the Wooden Nickel label. But after that, you know, Styx took off on their 3rd album, I believe. Let's see, which one was it? The Crystal Ball? No. I don't know, it's been a while. Anyway. This one was released a 70, I think a 69 actually. No, 72. This was released in 72. I thought it was earlier than that for some reason. But of course, the Wooden Nickel emblem down here. So, some early Styx. And the last one is a classic. Especially this album. I got 2 versions of this. The second version I'll show you, I just picked that up, it was either late last winter or first part of the new year. But anyway, this band here is it's one of my all-time favorite bands. They are, at least, were still putting albums out. I know Phil Mogg, may you get well soon, my friend. Had a heart attack, I believe it was yesterday, so wishing you a speedy recovery, my man. But this album here, classic, Ufo Force it. Right here, this is an OG. Of course, you know, back in them days, you really didn't see a lot of this. But fantastic album. Of course, it has Let It Roll, Shoot Shoot, High Flyer, Lost Love, Out in the Streets, Mother Mary. Just a killer lineup. Of course, it's Phil Mogg vocals, Andy Parker drums, Pete Way bass, and Michael Schenker on guitar. It's where Michael Schenker really started to show his chops on this. But this one, let's see, what year was this one released? Let's say 75 on the Chrysalis label. But an OG, like I said, fairly mint shape. So that is the 75 version. And here is let's see here. I believe this is the 2022 release, or late 21 release of the reissue, remastered black vinyl. Of course, this was added onto this release, whereas on, of course, this one here, you can't really see it. So, but anyway, I picked this up. Let's see here. I believe it's 2-album set. Yeah, it's a 2-album set, gatefold, so, but also on the Chrysalis label. But just some fantastic releases I showed you here that are a blast from the past. Leave your comments below. This is episode 2. I will keep coming back for more, and any comments, leave them below. Hit the subscribe button, spread the word, and I'll see you next time on the Blast from the Past. Take care, everybody.